What is up, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of The Danny Show. I'm your host, Daniel Cody, and this is where I give commentary and reviews on all things wrestling. Thank you guys for joining. Let's get started with the pre taped episode of Friday Night Smackdown, which is from the same location as last week, as everyone is actually and currently overseas right now. Now, we opened up the show with Sheamus versus Austin Theory, with Sheamus giving Austin 25 beats to the drum, 15 extra as consequence for trying to steal his move earlier the night. Nonetheless, due to outside distractions of Pretty Deadly, Austin Theory wins and retains the U.S. Championship by the most devastating move, the roll up. Then we saw Raquel and Shotzi Blackheart versus Damage Control's Bailey and Io Sky. Two things. Number one, Bailey took the night off from liking Michael Cole because Bailey likes Cole. I don't care what nobody say. And also, and Paul likes Caleb Braxton. But also, if you were in attendance, you a lot of things were spoiled for you because you got to find out it wasn't a mystery. If you attended SmackDown last week, then it was no longer a mystery who Raquel's partner was because Liv is injured. And as such, Dakota Kai, get well soon, both ladies. But nonetheless, due to lack of communication on damage controls, and Raquel and Shotzi win the match. And also, tonight we saw Hit Rose, Ashanti, The Adonis versus Cameron Grimes, in which Cameron Grimes won the match in what I like to call a SmackDown short match. But I need to say, what in the helicopter does Hit Row have on? Why does Hit Row look like they just got through robbing banks? That's not a good look. That is not. It's just not a good look at all. And I'm gonna constrain my lips because I would make a good point, but it's just not a good look. That I mean, me going to be famous, but I look like a thug and a hoodlum and a bank robber. That's bad. That's a bad look for someone like me. It's just you just don't do that. But in any event, that was just whoever thought of that was absolutely terrible. I don't care what you thought, what who said what. You don't go into a diverse business looking like you about to rob a bank. Just it don't look right. Looking like the Undertaker should choke slam you. But it just didn't look right at all. Period. Moving forward, Bianca Belair had a promo tonight that she cut about Asuka throwing mist at her, and this being a different Asuka. And you can tell this is pre-tape, and they did a double show that night because Bianca's hands are still freshly green. Asuka tried to do a attack from behind, a hit and run, but Bianca came ready to hit the KOD. Yet Asuka ran away. I think Bianca is going to win tomorrow. That's just what I think. But in other news, while LA Knight and Rick Boogs had a match in which LA Knight won, Montez Ford did make an interesting point about Roman Reigns and saying that he's already undisputed Universal Champion. Why does he need to be tag team champions? Because that's four pieces of gold on his waist. And someone made a picture, a community post, where all the championship gold, including the WWE World Championship, which AJ Styles and Seth are going to fight for tomorrow, was on his waist. And I'm thinking, if that happens, everyone's going to be mad. But in any event, Montez Ford says, why does he need all that? I don't know. But in any event, I will say that Roman Reigns is the man of this decade. 2020, the 2020s will forever be remembered as the years of Roman. But speaking of AJ and Seth, AJ won a match tonight against Karrion Kross, and I want to say something funny. Earlier in the match, we saw Scarlett try to get involved before Mia Yim came and chased her away. How did Scarlett run in those heels is beyond me. How do you run in high heel boots like that? It's just no one does that. But in any event, I will say this. I predict I like Seth and AJ Styles. AJ had an amazing meal today. That was some good steak. Whenever I go overseas to wherever they are, I'm gonna be looking for that restaurant. I'm gonna tell you that right now because that looked like a real good steak. But in any event, while I like AJ Styles and Seth Rollins, my pick is Seth Rollins to win. And moving forward to the main event part, because it is a pre-taped show, or should I say, a double tape event, because everyone's going to be overseas and it's a long flight because you're going overseas, not across the state. Because of that, everyone does double tapes. And usually when it's double tape, it's not as interesting. But tonight was a little bit different because on the KO show, Kevin Owens said something that was very interesting, and that is that Jay and Jimmy really are. If Roman is the head of the table, I thought Kevin was going to say that, as far as I'm concerned, Roman is the first letter of the alphabet of the table. But he didn't. He said something that was actually very true, and that is that while Roman Reigns, ours truly, is the head of the table, the Usos are the heart of that same table. Jimmy came around and said, as far as this tag team concerned, I am the tribal chief. Roman Reigns immediately jumped up and came marching down that ramp and just tore the whole place up. And you can still see tensions between Jimmy and Roman Reigns, as was in the locker room. So I'm very curious to see what's going to happen tomorrow. I can't make a prediction on this particular match between them and the tag team match is concerned, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens next. But until then, I'm your host, Danny Cody. That's all the time I have for you today, and I'll be back with another review on all things wrestling. Peace out.